Welcome to another episode of Riding with Tim. Patience. That's the title. What does patience mean to you? Where does patience apply in your life? Think about that. So I'm having troubles with it. Not in all areas of my life, but in certain sectors of my life, I'm having trouble with having patience. Okay. I think if you all haven't experienced, you will experience a time and a day when things just, it's almost like a light switch goes off. Thank you for the light. It's like a light switch goes off, and you realize that what you've been doing for 5, 10, 15, 20 years or beyond, you realize wait a minute. And let me clarify before I finish this thought. This is for my 9-to-5ers, okay? Some of you will have that epiphany of I can do more than this. Not only do more, but I can do something that I enjoy. Good morning, cousin. Thank you. I will do my best. And what I mean by I could do better is I don't want people to, well, let me say, don't take my statement out of context, because I am extremely grateful to the Almighty for giving me a job to take care of my family and to give me the life that I've never had before. But when you start educating yourself, when God starts showing you, giving you knowledge, showing you things, you realize, okay, I got to get with it. There's something else out there. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. I'm not trying to degrade a 9-to-5 or put down anybody who's got a job. I've been working now since, as far as in the public sector, I've been working now since 97. Okay, it's 28 years of factory work. And for about, let's see here, about 20 to 23 years, I was content with factory work. All right. I went from one job, my very first job, I was making $6 an hour in 97. I was in a warehouse stacking boxes. These boxes ranged in weight from 5 pounds to 50 pounds. And you had to stack them anywhere from 12 to 13 feet high. Okay. Now, stack those boxes. I did that for about, oh goodness, I would say every bit of 3 years. Is that right? Yeah, I'd say I did that every bit of 3 years. Oops, just hit a bird. So I worked at that factory for 5 years, and then I went on to another factory. I topped out at my first factory about $13 an hour, but it was piece rate. So if I didn't get with it, I wasn't going to make that 13. Then I left and I went to another company and started making about 14 an hour and topped out at about 18 before I left and went to this company here. Now I'm topped out pretty decent. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you, but no amount of money can give you peace of mind when you know that's not your calling. When you know your calling is something else. And on top of that, I just don't like working for evil people. Hi. At the end of the day, and thank you for the like, by the way. And thank you guys for joining. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I am on my way to work, and that's basically what I'm on here jabbering about right now. Is trying to show some patience. I'm trying to show a little bit more gratitude to the Father for providing this job. So that's what I'm asking for in a nutshell, you all, is your prayers for patience. That I won't make any hasty moves that might jeopardize what I'm trying to accomplish. I mean, we started Wayland Enterprises back in May of 2022. And the reason why I started Wayland Enterprises was because I had to have surgery on my ankle, and Lordy, it was 2021, I do believe. I had to have surgery late 2021, early 2022. It was somewhere around there. But anyway, I found out while I was laid up recovering from my surgery that my company decided to freeze my pension. Now, this pension, if anybody is familiar with what a pension is, it's basically when you get too old to work anymore, your company has promised that they will continue to pay you, and depending on how your electives are, they will pay your wife until you pass away. All right, just their way of saying thank you for your service and your contribution to the company. Well, they decided they weren't going to do that anymore. All right, now at that time, I was about 11, 12 years in. And I didn't know what I was going to do for the future. I mean, I was banking on that pension taking care of my wife when I pass away. We want to use that pension and our 401k and whatever money we may have saved, and we were going to live off of that for the rest of our life. And that didn't happen. The pension was gone. I went from possibly making or bringing home every month $2,500 to $3,000 a month to now I'm locked in at about $600-700 a month. I won't get no more than that. When the way inflation is now in the economy, that's pocket change. So I'm saying that not to complain, but I'm saying that was the motivation it took for me that flipped the switch. That was the motivation for me to start a business. My wife had been after me for a little while about, hey, we got a house down here that my mom gave to us. Basically, I helped them buy it, but my dad passed away and my mom didn't want to move, and she didn't know how to fix the house up. And at the time, I didn't have a clue. So she was like, I don't want it. Y'all do something with it. So I was like, okay, cool. So we got that house in 2020. Held on to that house for another couple of years. And finally, I made my decision. It's like, you know what? Let's give this real estate thing a try. Let's give this rental property, investment property, a shot. You know. Uh, so while we were renovating our home, another deal came up right in the middle. Man, it's crazy because of how that happened. Because it was on a property that we had looked at for years. As a matter of fact, this property was in my family when I was a kid. My great aunt and uncle lived there. And when he passed away, well, she passed away when I was a baby. When he passed away, I was probably about 4 or 5 years old. His kids took care of it. They tried to use it as a rental property. And they did for a little while. And finally, they just decided to stop. Then they basically allow their, or I don't know how that worked out. Their family members ended up with it, or our family, but their immediate family ended up with the property, and then they passed away, and the property somehow or another ended up in the hands of somebody else outside the family. Now, I tried to buy the property before that from a distant cousin who basically tried to scam me. God opened my eyes to that pretty quickly, thank goodness. And that deal fell through. We were actually going to buy the house to live in. That didn't happen. All right, so fast forward. We looked at the house again. Still didn't want it. Or still, didn't want it. And then it came and fell into my lap again, and I got it for basically pennies on the dollar. And now that I'm talking this out to you with you guys, patience is it's very important, because if we would have jumped the gun on that property, we'd be living there now instead of renting out. So this is the whole reason why that I am so apprehensive about clocking in every day, because this place, when I first got started, it was like no other establishment I've ever worked for. It had for lack of a better term, it had heart. It had compassion, empathy. I mean, the company that I worked for before this company bought full stake in it, it was the greatest place I've ever worked in my life. But God moves for a reason, people. And I have to keep reminding myself of that. And I appreciate you all allowing me to rant and sort this out in my head, man, because I come to the conclusion just now. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. And when I was with the other company now that no longer exists now, I was complacent. I was happy with being the worker bee, but I do believe this is God's way of telling me He's got something else for me. That this is not what He wants for me for the rest of my life. So I'm trying to take it easy. I talked to a guy the other day. This fella's pretty well off. He made his fortune in real estate, and he had his own construction company as well. And he decided he was going to retire. And I just checked in on him here the other day. And what's crazy is we've only had phone conversations and text messages. We We've never met in person. But this man has helped me tremendously, not laying any eyes on me. That's what's crazy. It's not crazy. That's what the world could be. So anyway, I texted him the other day just to check on him, see how he was doing. He had told me last year that he was going to retire, but I didn't know if he did or not. And we never really talked about it because every time I do text him or call him, I've got a question. So, well, 90% of the time. So this time, I decided, let's just check on him and see how he's doing. He's a good guy. He's cool. And he told me he was enjoying retirement. And here's the thing. Here's the thing about it, man. My ideal of retirement may not be his ideal of retirement. But he's at a place right now where he is cool and content, happy, and I'm happy for him. He has busted his tail most of his life, and now he's reaping the rewards or the fruits of his labor. You can't ask for nothing better than that. God is good. And with that note, guys, again, thank you guys for everything that you all have done as far as just tuning in, commenting, saying hello, hitting that like button, subscribing. I appreciate you. I love you. And I'm going to call it a day on this. And I pray that you all enjoy the rest of your day and just keep me in your prayers, please. Love you guys.